having a nice weekend and a nice end to the weekend. You can see beside me, I have a friend on camera with me, so I'm not all alone, which makes me very happy because I don't like being alone. Jane Thang, hi Jane Thang.
Hi, how are you?
Good. We're just kind of gonna do a little walk-in because there's only like one person right now, and this will also be for replay people.
Mhm.
So guys, tonight we're offering mini readings, and I invited Jane to come on because I've noticed over time. Well, actually, I noticed when I first did a reading for her that she has that gift, that ability to kind of see beneath what's on the surface. And I think I've told you that probably almost every time I read for you. Like, you need to embrace your gift. I know I've said it a few times.
Yeah.
So while we're waiting for people to come on in and hang out with us, Jane, what would do you have a period, like, because for me I can say I knew, like, I always felt, I mean, I felt very different even as a child. Like, I've told stories about the things I thought, like, I could use my hands to heal my parents and things like that. But it was a real awakening I had around age 39, going on 40, right at that 2017, that changed everything for me. Do you have a recollection of a specific period of time, or has it all? I mean, I think yours is very much a hereditary thing too. Doesn't it sort of run in your family?
Yeah, from what I know of. So for me, just like most people's story, I think like I've always felt different when I was younger. I've always struggled to maintain friendships. I've always felt alone, like people unseen, like am I invisible? Is something wrong with me? Or I find that
Or
I'm
like
very polarizing. So if
people don't have,
someone's wounded, like I'm almost like a mirror. If they saw me, even when I was little, they would be really mean to me, take things out on me, and I used to really not understand why.
well,
Like
what
they'll
you
be like, "You're being a brat," and in my head, I'm like, "I'm just telling you what I experienced. I'm not, you
really
projection." So
interesting.
yeah, like a lot,
Interesting. So
and
I didn't have a
and
lot of that where people were being mean to me, but I did have the experience,
yeah,
still do, in relationships where am constantly reminded not everyone has the same heart as you. They may
hmm
seem like they do, they may even act like they do a little for a certain period of time, but they don't, and you have to accept
yeah.
that, right?
They're more of a mimic than they have bigger egos that are very intelligent, as in they mimic things, but they're not connected to
Yes,
their heart space fully. So
right.
it's off balance. Long story short, they're not all
It's
online,
true.
basically.
It's true. Let me try, guys. I'm sorry. I don't think I have the chat turned on. I forgot you have to do that
Uh,
now. I'm turning the chat on because we got a couple people coming in. If you, as you come in, guys, just say hey in the chat, and welcome Jane on because she has never been on with me before, and I'm hoping this is
I've never
something that
done a
she'll want to
live.
do
This is my first
again.
time ever doing this.
I'm so glad you're here. So yeah, that was I've had that experience too. Not to the you know what, I guess I do I did you know what I used to experience a lot was people used to say to me, "You think you're so like kids, other kids, like you think you know everything, don't you?" And
Oh, I got
I
that a
remember
lot. Get off your
all I
high
would,
horse, and I'm
but
like,
it would be
what?
in reply to me like saying something like try like something nice and helpful. You know what I mean? It was coming from a place of just being kind, and it. So then I
Yeah,
thought, gosh, do I think I know everything? I feel like I'm the biggest
yeah,
idiot in the room most of the time. So I never
yeah.
quite got that. Welcome in, Sam. Yes,
Hi,
Sam.
Sam.
I'm sure you, if you've been in our broadcast before, you're familiar with Jane Thing's commentary. But now you get to meet her in person. Isn't she gorgeous? And no, she is not Khloe Kardashian. I mean, Kourtney Kardashian's baby
You
sister.
always say that.
The first time I met her, I was like, who do you remind me of? Kourtney Kardashian. Only prettier.
Oh,
Um,
thank you.
because you have a heart that much bigger than Kourtney
Mhm.
Kardashian.
I feel I'm a
Um,
little, I'm a little bit poofier, but I'm still cute.
Oh, well, you've got a baby. You have a baby face.
Yeah.
You do.
Mhm.
So, what one of the reasons I really wanted to have you on here is because yes, I noticed that you have a gift that you need to start really embracing and sharing. And I've been, like I'm on a journey right now where, like you watched last night, I'm really wanting to move in a new direction. It's not about the masses of people getting readings or
Mhm.
I've trained a couple friends that I mentioned one last night, and she's off the charts. Like she's almost famous
Yeah.
in the UK doing what she does. And I realized that's not something that interests me or is for me. I really am
Same
getting,
one.
I'm getting so much fulfillment from working one on one almost daily with people. Like, so with this new thing I'm going to be doing, opening up to everyone, this life coaching adventure, I mean, it's a weekly meeting, right? It's supposed to be an hour. It usually goes like two, but that we text and keep in touch all off and on throughout the day, every day.
Mhm.
And I think that's what I notice is the thing that helps because, for example, Devin, who was on last night, the progress I've seen him make is exponential, right? Versus people I give readings to, I can give a reading to somebody and I can work with them for 6 months where I'm giving them readings and I'm telling them things about the law of attraction. And I think they know it, but I think that because they don't have that
Putting it
daily,
in action.
well, and we need some of us, and I'm like that too. Some of us, we need someone to hold us accountable daily, and that's what this
Yeah.
does. And and it's been beautiful because he could I that's the first thing I do the first day is I say, look, you spent some money for this. I want you to commit 100% to doing this with me.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be 100% available to you. You be 100% committed to doing everything that Spirit tells us for you to do. If you do that, I promise you, you will be successful and you will achieve and manifest the life you want. And I just the the what I the thing, it's been miraculous. That's why when we first started, we didn't have a text. We were just working from the law of attraction and things that I knew and references from the Magic Playground that Jai and I did. But when I started to, it hit me one day when because I said it's really miraculous how magical this is becoming for you. And then I thought, oh
Mhm.
my gosh, that book, The Magic, I have. And I went out and got it, and we started to use that as a form of educating. And I've really noticed that since we've been using the magic as like a text, and I've added a couple of other texts, it's even more uh, beneficial because it becomes more of a process than just a willy-nilly adding in things from that need to be done.
Yeah.
So but I still use my intuition and what I feel at that moment and that session comes through, but then we also have the text that we planned ahead to work from.
The
What
the
do you
way I'm seeing it is like it's like there's a hierarchy or a container to put the information you're getting in so that it's easier for someone that's not in your body. As intuitives, we feel things in ways that if
right,
people are not tapped in and tuned in, they're not going to understand our feelings.
that's
So the
right.
way I see it is like putting it into containers or putting it into a digestible product or a finalized recipe that someone could
I
ingest and
I
take
love
in.
that.
So I think you're mastering that, like you're getting more balance with because intuition is seen as a feminine thing. I think everyone could do it. It's just
Well, you always
the
hear
way you're made.
the term "a woman's intuition," which is true. I think
Yeah.
the divine feminine, the feminine
There's
within all of us, is where our intuition rests. I mean,
mhm.
but what people don't want to all, mainstream people just don't think about or realize
Except
is that we have
yeah.
both the masculine and feminine within all of us. That we do
Yeah. That
have
this whole
both
universe is created through the zeros
the
and
balance.
ones. And we're
Say that
you
again,
know, we're the
and
three, which
wait.
is
Say that again. I want you to
so
say that again.
this
Listen,
whole
listen. Two people
universe is
are
made
here.
out of zeros and ones. And
Zeros
we're
and
the three, we're the creation, which is literally both. Quite
right.
literally atoms, anything you could think about it through a scientific way, a binary or mathematical way, through
That
the intuitive way, which is the masculine and the feminine, through
yes.
the tree of life, through the Kabbalah,
The
the
sun and
true
the moon.
pillars. Like,
The sun
yes,
and the moon.
exactly.
I mean, just think of our 24-hour daily life that we live. We experience the sun, which is considered the masculine because that's that energy that's bright and in your face and sort of assertive. And then we also experience at night the moon, which is the time that's more um, quiet and more
Mhm.
receptive and also hidden a little bit because women this is something I've learned as a gay man having female friendships. Women, gay men can have a lot of qualities that make them relate to women, but one thing we don't have that women do have is women have this ability and this need, I think, for their hearts to be a deep ocean of secrets, and I don't mean that in a bad way.
Yeah.
I heard that quote in the movie Titanic. The old woman Rose at the end. She says that. She says, "A woman's heart is a deep ocean of secrets," and it always stuck with me. And I thought that's so true. I've learned that having so many female friends, and I don't mean like being secretive or deceptive at all. It's more about
No.
holding things within you that men wouldn't even
Will
think to
never.
experience
Yeah,
or
or that they're
value the
scared of.
experience.
Yeah, or that they're scared of. Because 'cause I'm going through this, and it's not just me, but there is a collective thing going on, I think, with women, where it's starting to feel lonely out here. We want the connection with a man, but it seems, keyword seems, this is just my experience, it doesn't have
Right.
to be for everyone's, but it seems like a lot of men are scared to get into the waters now. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Oh,
I don't know how
absolutely.
else to explain that, but a lot of men
It'll
seem to
balance. I think it's
be.
gonna balance.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I have hope. This is the thing. I have hope. I've gone through so much ups and downs that I'm not fear mongering, and I'm not like a lot of these people online. They're like, the dating scene is terrible. I'm like, yeah, okay. The dating scene is da da da. Men ain't shit. Women ain't shit. Both sides, the red pillars and the feminazis. And I'm kind of like, but
Right.
everything's a cycle. This is where we are right
Exactly.
now. You're right. What you're seeing, but it's not gonna last forever. And
Well,
what is it telling, like, this coming up, this storm coming through? A lot of couples, a lot of millennials, a lot of Gen X's, like, everyone's either breaking up or they can't sustain a relationship. Why is the
yeah,
universe putting us through this? What are you learning about yourself? Because I could tell you everything I'm seeing,
yeah.
but why am I seeing what I'm seeing? As
Well,
a woman, and do I have healthy boundaries as a woman? Am I projecting my PTSD from my fucked up relationships on my new relationship? Am I really open on this date? Do I actually really want to be on this date, or am I just trying to find someone? Does it feel like the right timing? Just a lot of things that I understand what people are seeing, and I don't want to devalidate what people are going through, but it's like, are you asking why, and are you doing the inner understanding instead of the outer understanding? Because
absolutely.
it's evident. It's like, I really feel it from Gen X and millennials and Gen Z, I think, are really, I think it's just a collective. I don't know how everything works, but it just
Yeah,
feels like
I don't
there's
know.
something going on. Like, it's not all us. Like, there is something going on energetically. There's a big program, bigger than what the Matrix, whatever, that the God is putting through us and Earth right now.
Yeah.
So, and we gotta,
I,
this
you
is
know,
where, you gotta learn about Saturn energy. You can't see it as being punished. You just can't, because then you create a
right.
prison for yourself. You
That's
gotta
so
see it as
true.
to, why am I in here?
Well,
What
that
do I
goes
need to learn?
what you just said, Jane. And first, let me that goes right to the book, The Magic, and how gratitude is the magic. Everything that
Hmm.
feels bad in your life, or like a horrible, you know, trauma, it is, but it could also be a test
Yeah.
or an opportunity for growth. And if you even have the courage I should say wisdom and faith to show gratitude for that horror
Yeah.
experience, wow, will the universe bless you? Because then it's showing
Oh
that
yeah.
you really have faith in your creator and in where you come from. I'm so glad that we got onto this because we came on to do mini readings. We've got 4 people in here. You guys, if you want a mini reading, you're welcome to get one. Um, I'll put the information up. It's $20. You can send it to the Cash App that is I think it's listed in. No, I didn't list it. I'm gonna put it in the chat real quick. Jane, will you do that for me while I'm saying this to the Ray of Light $Ray of Light Tarot, and we're
Yeah,
gonna
I'm looking
split
for
up
it.
the if anybody does want to get, but I'm kind of glad that we right now have this opportunity to talk about this. And if this ends up being what the broadcast is, I'm more than fine with that, because I'll tell you, a couple weeks ago when I had Jesus on, I was coming on and I was going to do basically an open letter to my tribe because about and then an apology because of something I learned from my therapist just a couple weeks ago. And but then I decided I might be throwing my ex under the bus a little bit and putting too much out there. So I decided not to do it. But I think I will explain a
Mhm.
few things that don't necessarily personally expose him. Something that I learned is, I just recently got out of a 3-year relationship, a 3-year tumultuous, listen, a great relationship, a mutually loving, beautiful, 99% of the time it was beautiful. But the 1% that wasn't beautiful
As good as
wasn't
it
really
was
that.
terrible.
It was
That's just
ugly.
the way
Yeah.
this realm works, you know?
And
Yeah.
what I noticed is what you just mentioned is true for men, gay men as well. They're people who are they're masculine. They're hiding in their masculine energy from things. Are hiding with drugs, alcohol, anything they can find. Random
Avoidance, isolation.
anonymous
Yeah.
sex, any addictive food, we any behavior
Mhm.
that could be that you can make addictive, they are. Well, for something I wanted to come on and basically apologize to all of you for is the last 3 years I didn't realize it, but I found out from my therapist that I was actually in an abusive relationship, not physically abusive,
Mhm.
and it was uh, anxious avoidant
Yeah.
attachment people tend to
Yes.
tend to use certain ways to manipulate you from leaving. And like for example, this is something she read to me. A person might, every time you start to leave because they've crossed a boundary that you set once again, they might cry, and they use those
Mhm.
tears because they know you're an empath. And when you see someone crying, you think they feel sad, guilty, love, remorse,
Mhm.
but maybe they stop crying the minute you decide not to leave. What's that? It says that's a sign that they actually are just using that
Emotional
perceived emotion
manipulation.
to
Yeah.
manipulate you into staying. And
Yeah.
we went through a thing, and she goes, so why didn't you break up then? Which was this many months ago, or this many, and then why did
Yeah.
you break, and then why did you, and then why were you low, and then she even went so far as to say, why were you lowering your value by being
Mhm.
by offering this person your friendship after breaking up? They don't deserve that.
You're
And
too
I went,
yeah.
whoa. And then I thought about how much I've neglected my true calling
Your feelings.
here, no, and here, which is
Oh,
because
yeah.
but that is my feelings, because I took
Yeah.
on, when you take on a relationship, it should be making you each better,
Making
adding
you more it should
adding
bring
to,
more to
not
you,
take.
not pulling you away.
And it was my choice, nobody made me do it, but I ended up taking on what I do for all of my people here, what my job is. I took all that energy, went to helping save, or attempt to
I was gonna
save
say, can I comment?
the.
Can I comment as a longtime viewer slash friend?
You can.
I did notice,
Of course
and
you
remember when I
did.
reached out to you a couple of times? Yeah, remember when I reached my gut was like, text him. That your guides were coming to me saying you need to help him right now because I didn't know what's going on because you do go MIA. Your energy, your
Yeah.
river, right? Your cord was off your highest path, for lack of better words. You went and
Oh yeah.
created tributary, and all your energy was going to I don't even want to say him, what your relationship that you had, because it's really not about him, it's
Yeah,
about
it was
you.
what I
You know
perceived
what
I
I
was
mean?
being.
Yeah, your perceived relationship, but the
Sorry
reality
guys,
was it
I
was
don't mean to
just the
get so
person
emotional.
that you. No, well, I think you're still in the middle of healing from it, to be
Oh
honest.
yeah,
Even
I
though
mean, I
you
didn't even listen.
understand the.
Listen,
Yeah,
I went on a date yesterday afternoon, but like I've gone on a couple dates and stuff, but I didn't see anyone. I didn't even like
yeah,
look on a dating app. Nothing. I stayed away. I mean, I don't really do that anyway, but we
yeah.
broke up in June, and I mean, it was August before I even really was
No.
like responded to a guy messaging me on Instagram. Like I just was
Yeah.
not there because I truly love this person, and I still do. I
Yeah,
always
I was gonna
will.
say
But what I
they
won't do
showed me
anymore. is allow this person ever back into my life.
Yeah, at
And
least
I
not
didn't
anytime
realize that.
soon. Yeah.
Well, not yeah, as that well, unless they come as a different person because
But
I
that's
don't
my point, and we both know that takes years. Even with all the doctor visits, all the medications if they need them, all the quitting addictions, that takes years to transform. I
right.
don't mean that in a mean way, but the reality is it's not
And
even a 9 months later. It's like years have to go by for someone really to transform
there's too many
from where
illness
they are.
there's too many addictions too. It's I thought
Yeah,
originally there was one, and then I found out the more. Like I mentioned, there's so many different kinds, and there's too many.
and
It was killing me. Staying
yeah.
in that
I
relationship was literally murdering myself.
I feel like you met
You're
me
not
when I
supposed to say
left
that
something
word on
like that. That's
YouTube,
all I'm
are
gonna
you?
say. You met me, yeah, I'll say it.
Unaliving.
Yeah, you met me when I went through something very, very similar. That's why I'm like, I recognize it, and I recognized you being pulled away too. That's why I knew it was like a. I don't even want to say narc abuse. I feel like that's such a trendy word, but I'll just
Well,
say
it
like
is.
a
No, no.
really unbalanced. Yeah, a really
You're
unbalanced relationship.
and you are right for saying that because here's the thing. I still don't like to think of that word or that person as that. But here's the thing. One of the things that made it hard for
It
me
is what it
to
is.
to leave.
Yeah.
My family loved him.
That's.
Narcissists
I'll just
are
say that a
so
lot of
their
masculines,
friends, their family
yeah, in my
love them
life,
because they're so the
the
only
most
person they
handsome,
abuse
the
is
most
their
generous
partner,
in public. Yeah,
and
the
they make
most generous
themselves out
people
to
in
be the
public. I'll pay for
victim.
your dinner, nicest. But behind closed doors, some of the coldest, like makes it's a mind fuck because you're like,
It is. It
you just
is.
said hi to my mom and you just said you wanted to
Well,
marry me and I'm the love of your life and
and then you
now
went.
you won't even look at me
Well, and
and
not
you
even
won't
that.
even text me back what you want for dinner. Yeah.
What's so funny is
It's a
like
mind fuck.
we'd split
And
up
when you're a
because
sweet person, you're so patient,
or
you
this
know?
is what would confuse me a lot is you split up, right, because this person's done something that was beyond the pale of acceptable, and they'd write letters of apology and how wrong they were. So you
I'll go
come
to
back and
therapy. I'll
wait,
change. Yeah.
wait, you come back after they've admitted they were wrong and totally, and their friends are treating you like you were the bad guy. So it's like,
The
wait, this
flying
person,
monkeys.
I'm
Yeah.
like, what do you tell your friends about me? Because it's like not the same thing that you're,
Oh,
yeah. But that is a very,
I was the people that came to me that were like on their side of the tree for lack of better words, you know what I mean? I was crazy. I was suicidal. I threatened him. I made him do things. I made him promise me things. I never did any of this, just so you know. I never did any of this. I never did any of that. And it was like, so that's when it really, I was like, and I went to go see a healer because, when you're in it, you're not making sense of it. You know what I mean? And she was like, girl, he says so much that is not true about you. You
yeah.
have no idea. Like,
You know why?
he
You
is
know
so
why that is?
dishonest with you.
Because they can never be seen as the bad guy. They have to be the victim.
The grandiose, yeah, the whole
Yes.
grandiose
Like
image.
it's to a level that's insane.
Yeah.
But the point of all this, I don't want to go too much more into that, but I will say
Yeah.
is I apologize to all of the people that have checked in on me and wondered where was I and why wasn't I doing my zodiac readings anymore and all of those things. Because the thing is, I was I had given my energy to the wrong place.
Look, the judgment card came out.
Oh,
For you.
wow.
Rebirth, growing, a new direction, transition, away, judge. You know what I mean. The wake
I
up call. You
do.
got the wake up call.
Oh, I've got it. Yeah. Well, I got the wake up
Yeah.
call. I'm not, well, again, not going into details, but uh,
Hmm.
it was, we were, planning summer trips and we went on one and then had a next one coming up. So in between, after one and before the next one could happen, I mean, tickets were bought, first class tickets were bought, everything.
Yeah.
I just had to
Yeah. Your
distance.
body probably you were
I started
so
feeling like I
off
can't get away
course.
from this person fast enough. How
Yeah, your
have you
body started truly rejecting it. Yeah, like
Yeah.
rejecting the
Can
energy
you
that was just
imagine that?
saying go.
Loving someone so much, but then feeling like you can't get away from them fast enough? It's
It's
so
not just
heartbreaking. It broke
you.
my
I know a
heart.
lot of people going for that. Yeah, I
It
know
broke my
literally so
heart.
many people going through that.
But I am
Yeah,
happy to say that now that I understand what the relationship was, I'm a little bit more relieved because it wasn't what I thought it was anyway. I wasn't the person
okay.
I thought I was heartbroken over wasn't doesn't exist. And now it's given me this chance to really regroup and recognize what is that higher calling about and where is it taking me? And partly because of the experience, that's also where I realized I am better suited for doing one-on-one assist more
Yeah,
one-on-one work, but I need to do it with my soul tribe, with my people who want it and
yeah,
need it and are willing to do the work. And
yeah,
that's the difference between being in a unhealthy relationship with someone trying to take on a sick patient and working with people who want to get better.
yeah. I was gonna say when you were making a comment earlier about you feel more called to coaching, um, straight up, I was like, it's what it is that people need parents. And
Yeah.
because there's so much parental estrangement right now, because there's a purification happening too. As crazy as
Yes.
it sounds, there is a purification or a program cleansing. A lot of the stuff that our parents went through, that we went through, like the universe is like, we're done with that. We're not gonna keep abusing our kids. We're
The
not gonna keep
cycle's broke.
talking cruelly.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, right. Well, and thank God your screen is frozen, Jane. We can hear you, so don't worry about that. You're coming through fine, but your screen is frozen. I'm not sure why that is. Um, but hopefully it'll Okay, yeah. Guys, anyone who's watching in the chat, if it's frozen for you two, let me know because I might be able to try something to fix it. But Jane, what you just said, hello, that's part of why I want you to really continue to embrace more and more your gifts too. Because thank God that you're someone like you exists, and it's not to just be here tonight. It's to take this much further and be of assistance, of help, and you have the ability to make people understand why. I think, and that's, as I'm listening to you talk, what I notice that you do, it's not just about intuition. You have a deep wisdom, I think, about the workings of the universe and the why things are going the way they are. I don't really ever
Yeah, I
stop to
think so
think
too.
about that, honestly. I mean, to some extent, not to that extent, but it's important to know. It is important to do. You back? You're not frozen. Um,
Okay.
and I think you have
I
the
was gonna
ability to
say,
do that.
remember how you were saying when you're little, you were like, I always felt like I could heal with my hands. You know how what I used to think? Why can't I walk through this wall? Why are my cells not separating so I can walk through this wall?
That's awesome.
Why can I not
Yeah.
hear the spirits of the trees? So I think I have, like you said, I think the way my brain understands or processes the universe is almost like a little bit more like an architect, like a builder of the universe. So I know how to reverse engineer things and how energy works and how things are built versus more like healing, I think.
It almost
So
sounds like
that's why,
it almost sounds like your soul didn't want to accept the fact that it was stuck in a body that was
yeah. No,
limited.
I have look, I'm triggered right now. Ooh, you hit it on the head. Sometimes I'm like, Oh my god, I'm in this suit. I've been here before. I have this feeling like nothing new. Like I get it, but there's a resentfulness because I'm not used to
Yeah.
being so small.
Hey
And
guys,
I'm used to being in control, to be honest, like a little bit more in control than what I am right now.
Jane,
That's it's just a feeling.
a couple people are popping in and out. I just want to kind of
Oh,
just sort of re-welcome guys. If you're just coming in or just popping in and out, you this is Jane Thing, who you know from being in the chat, but you've never seen here before. My beautiful, our beautiful Soul Tribe sister. We are talking about our own. We're kind of sharing our experiences with our, within our life experience as empaths, as light workers. But we are here for the purpose if anyone would like to get a mini reading. So if you would like to do that, did I pin that chat, or I need to pin that so that they can see it? If you
yeah.
would like to, I'm pinning I just pinned the chat. It'll tell you can go to the Cash App $Ray of Light Tarot, or you can also do PayPal. They're both listed there. It's $20, and she and I are going to do tandem readings if you would like. Just like Jai and I have done many times. Jai uh, communicated with her today. She's in South America right now. She was visiting home in Argentina, and now she's on her way to Peru. So we're gonna hook it
Ooh.
up when she gets back. 'Cause I feel like she's someone that I'm gonna include in this journey of life coaching probably a limited way. I'd like her to be willing to produce some kind of guest sharing or something at the very least, or whatever she's willing to do. And the same goes for you, Jane. We'll talk about that as we go. I'd also like to coach you too. But what you were just saying is so interesting to me because I never felt that way. But what I used to think is if I like I would see birds flapping their wings, and I always felt like I should be able to do that too, like with my arm
Yeah, yeah.
and fly. And I dream that a lot. I dream a lot of times in my dreams, I'll start to move my arms and I just shoot up into the sky and start flying. So, guys, say hey in the chat if you're just coming in. We would love to hear from you. If you have anything you'd like to add to the conversation, you are welcome to. We're gonna just kind of hang out, pull some cards. Well, that's a good idea. Let's pull some cards and see what we want to talk about too while we're doing this. But yeah, do get a reading if you'd like. We're here to do that. But I haven't. Like I said, I've been kind of away so long that I just figured, if not a lot of people, and we don't come on this time or this day
Yeah, I
very.
was gonna say we're on so much earlier, but he did that for me because I have old plans a little bit later on after this.
Ooh, are they
But I
fun?
think this is a good feeler. Maybe we can make this a monthly thing or a weekly thing.
Yeah, whatever you want. I'm open. Like I said, I'm at that point where I want to do everything differently, and part of that is not just getting on here and doing mini readings and getting paid. I mean, you have to make money and survive, of course, but I'm really wanting to
Yeah.
focus on just sort of sharing this experience with everyone that's a part of it. I don't want it to be just me looking at you guys in the chat all the time. I want you guys to come on here with me and introduce yourselves and share your gifts
Yeah.
a little bit, and you know, because maybe that will also inspire some of you who
To
really
go live.
who
You
really
know
have
what's
the
so
ability.
funny? I get that message a lot through people or just through I love tarot and I love spiritual stuff. It's like my version of entertainment. It just fascinates me.
Sure.
And I agree right now with almost like it's um just like anything on earth. Just it's not just a spiritual thing, just like anything. Sometimes when it becomes a trend, it gets mass produced and it loses its authenticity.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm reading cards to you. But
Yes. Well,
having a better connection, a more authentic connection, and examples of people getting to know each other because we're all like kind of probably a little anxious. I think times are weird right now. I don't know how to explain it. People
I
are very
I
polarized.
I
So
felt that
seeing
way
healthy
too.
conversations is good too. Healthy
Yeah.
conversations where we can disagree and agree and share
Yeah.
our perspectives and hold space for each other without these crazy expectations.
People need
I
to
think that's another thing too why you're probably being called to this.
People really need to learn that it's okay to disagree and
Yeah.
still remain respectful.
You could
Right.
be a pro Trumper, you could be an anti Trumper, you could still be good people.
I'm not,
Like I know that
I'm
sounds so
not
crazy,
either, to
but
be
you can still
honest.
be good people.
I was talking about him with a friend of mine the other day. I'm not, I don't hate Trump. I don't love him either. But, I can acknowledge the good things he's done, and he's done some good things as of late. Like, referring to the getting the hostages released in Israel, for example. Those are that when anytime someone does something, I remember my aunt commented when Obama was president and he got bin Laden, he
Yeah.
sent the SEALs in and got bin Laden. She was not a fan of Obama. She's a little conservative. She was a big President Bush fan, and she went on and she said something on Facebook that I thought was very mature of her. She said, Bush did his part while he was in office, and he did what I think was a great job. But she said Obama's the president now, and he got him. Thank you, Mr. President. Like she,
Yeah.
and I think we should all try to be a little bit more like that. You
We
know,
all need to be more graceful, is what it is at the end of the day.
it doesn't
Like,
cost
you could
anything.
have your feelings, but we need to grow up as a collective. And the way we're treating each other, whether everyone's beliefs are going to be different. It's since the
Yeah.
dawn of time. Some people believe in God, some people don't.
Oh,
Like whatever it is. But what I'm seeing with all this discussion and debate is you guys don't treat yourselves very nice because the way you're treating each other, y'all are really mean. That's all I'm gonna say.
well, did you
Because
know,
I don't
Janine,
I
that
don't
it's
know
been
enough about
scientific?
politics to say something good or bad about the president. But what I know is that I'm curious because I believe the universe doesn't make mistakes, whether you like to hear that or not. The
No, that's
universe
true.
doesn't make mistakes. So I'm curious to see, maybe I don't understand it now, but maybe in 10 years we will understand why the universe did what it did.
Well, there's also a lot of hypocrisy. Like the same people who hated Clinton because of his lack of morals when it came to his love life, they don't
Yeah,
mind
but that's
Thomas's
kind of
just
what I
that.
mean where to me he's just a big pillar that I like you said I don't really care. He's just a pillar, but the way you react to his existence just tells me a lot about who you are. And I'm not saying you're a good or bad person, but it paints the picture of what your template is and what your being is here in this realm. So
Right.
I know how to adjust accordingly
Well,
because yeah, and it's that simple. Again, it's not that you're dumb, it's not that you're really smart. It's just telling me who you are.
you're so right, and I'll tell you that's something else that I've had to really accept and grow up this summer is to just accept the
Yeah.
fact that this isn't the earth is not a place filled with loving, kind people. There are thank God there are loving, kind
Mhm.
people here, but it's been scientifically proven that people bond closer relationships over shared
Hating.
dislike and shared
Yeah.
hatred of other people. So in other words, if you can meet somebody and you have someone else that you both really dislike, that's going to make you more likely to become close than anything else could have in common. That
Yeah.
shows you right there that this is a dark place.
Yeah.
No,
I agree. It's not easy down here, man. It's not
but
easy down here.
that's why we need to when we do find a soul tribe that we connect to.
Hmm.
And even within people that consider themselves to be part of like soul tribes and light workers, you see these silly petty things happening, and it's
Yeah.
just so sad because usually it's really based
That
on
was your illusion of
ego.
perfect, right? Your
Well, it's
illusion of
ego
an
coming
idol.
out.
Yeah.
The ego, it always gets in the way. And I mean, I'm just as guilty of it at times in my
Yeah.
life too, but
But
that's
it's
something
hard to
I have
see.
worked
It's
on a
hard to
lot.
see because then it breaks your illusion of the person. And you know what I mean? The
Yeah.
whole don't meet your idols comes in.
Right. I learned a lot when I had that stalker situation. Um,
You had a stalker?
on here, she was messaging like all, I don't know how she. Man, the woman worked hard. She messaged my twin flame, who because he was participating in the beginning of the
Uh
channel,
huh.
and then like she was sending up different clients like send me copies of emails she was sending them. I'm like, how is she finding out who my clients are, getting their
Yeah.
email? Like she's not from America, she's from Europe. So,
Hmm.
but what I learned from that is I kept talking about it on here, and I because it was bothering me so much. I I learned that was the lesson for me is I knew it, but I didn't know. I knew it in my head, but I didn't know it in my heart. I had to learn it in my heart that you don't give energy to things that make you unhappy like that. it only makes them grow. You just don't give energy
You're
to it.
feeding it.
And in fact, what I should have done is acknowledged her, sent her a message, and apologized for whatever I had done that provoked her because she wanted.
Mhm.
What happened is I did a reading for her, and then she sent me this long message about how she had a romantic dream about us, and she knew we were soulmates and meant to be together. And it made me feel icky. And I told her, I'm gay. That's not my life. Like,
Yeah.
and she did not like that answer. And she took that, like,
Yeah.
she was like, "So what? You're gay. I'm just telling you what I'm feeling. Like, you could just be accepting." And looking back, I should have been more understanding and accepting.
Yeah.
I just wasn't in a place where I was, you know, that open to other people's experiences involving me, that I didn't know. It felt strange. And it'll probably always will. But,
Yeah.
the thing to remember is everybody's going through something. And what if that woman was going through a time where she was very depressed and thinking of
Mhm.
unaliving herself? And
Yeah, and then you
my
said
treatment,
something
I
that
would
was
feel
very you
so.
focused. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so that's why you say it. You're right. It doesn't cost you anything to be kind and graceful, right? And we're always going to make mistakes. We're always going to lose our temper. We're human. Like when people say, I'll have clients say to me a lot of the time, "I'm healing, but I'm just not healed yet." I always say, "You're not going to heal ever. You'll be healed when you're no longer in your body. That's when you'll be healed. As
Mhm.
long as you're here in this body, you will be
Yeah.
healed. You can do a lot of healing, but you can never you're not going to be 100% perfect. That's just not the way it works. And that's okay, you know? And
Healing kind of triggers me now. I understand it's coming from a good place, but I think healing is just make sure you're nurturing yourself to the best of your ability and
right.
that you could stay in the most keyword wholesome perspective. Wholesome means holistic, the whole perspective, the good part, the bad part, you're rolling it, they're rolling it, the universe is rolling it. That's the 4D, 5D consciousness that we're talking about.
Mm,
Can you zoom out and can you go beyond the self-preservation to survival, me, to the you versus me, to the third perspective, which is like, oh my god, the parent, like I'm the third. I'm seeing both the left and the right, the zero and the one, and I'm the three, right? The 3D-ness of it all.
that's
And
it.
then what Christ consciousness is, or the 4D or the 5D, the 4D is you have a holistic understanding of all three perspectives, that all of you are loved. The
Right.
devil is loved, the
Yep.
angels are loved, the abusers are loved, the abusees are loved.
The
We
tortoise
are all
is
one.
loving in it when you look at it from the giraffe's perspective, from the bird's eye view
Yeah,
of what it's accomplishing.
exactly. And
Yeah.
then once you're there, the 5D is that you could build from all that wholeness and things get even more elevated.
I
The
want to
big
show you.
change, you really start making changes.
Well, speaking of that, it's funny. I just pulled. This is this what's this deck? The Deviant Moon Tarot. My sister got me this as a gift for to thank me for officiating her wedding. Five of Pentacles. Now, this to me speaks so much right now. Oh, Jane, are you there? I'm gonna just keep.
Yeah, my brother just called me.
Oh, okay. You should be able to pop back on. If you can't come back up, what then I'll just try going out and hitting the link again. I think that the Five of Pentacles is really what a lot of us are experiencing right now too, because of all those what you just shared. Hey guys, welcome in. If you're just coming in, Jane Thing is joining us, and she should be back on camera in just a moment. And we're offering mini readings, tandem mini readings, if you would like one, because she is someone who is very good at intuiting, and I wanted to embrace that gift. But we're also kind of just talking right now. So if you would like to get on the list and get a mini, everybody's on it right now. So you're welcome to do that. And it's $20. I have pinned the information in the chat. But what I wanted to talk about, I kind of want to wait till.
Hold on, my son's coming right now. Hey,
Okay.
baby. No. Do not step back here. I'll
Oh,
watch you on
tell him I
camera.
said hi.
What's up, baby?
How
Yeah,
old
he's
are you
just. I
now?
just for privacy
6?
reason 8.
8?
What do you need, honey bear?
No, I don't need something. I just want to tell you something. Cindy texted.
Oh, I got my message. Thank you, baby.
He's so
I'll
good.
text her back.
Are you ready?
Okay.
Something.
All right. Thanks, honey.
Just
He's
hearing his
using my
voice.
old iPhone and he gets my messages.
Jane, he's grown up. Like, this is so crazy.
You've
I
known him
haven't,
since he was about 2 or 3, right?
yeah, like, I think I probably haven't seen him on camera, like, since he was 4 or 5, maybe.
I'll show you a picture later
Is
because
he
he looks
8?
like a little boy. Like, he doesn't look like a baby at all.
I'm wrecked
He
right
has a
now.
whole personality.
He really, how's he doing? Is he doing well?
Yeah, he's honestly grown so much as a person. I feel a little bit more or less anxious about certain things that remember I was concerned about.
I
Um,
would.
Definitely I think it's gonna be a journey. I think I'm more accepting of things than before. I'll just say that.
And
Thanks,
also
neighbor.
keep in mind he's got some gifts too going on. So,
That's
you
what I'm saying. Like I'm a little more rooted in myself. So that's what I'm saying. It feels like stuff has changed, but I think it's more I've accepted certain things
uh-huh.
and that, I don't understand him and it's okay if I don't understand him. I just got to do my best and accept that I'm going to learn as I go. I'm not going to know
There's a
everything.
reason. There's a
Even
reason. And see,
yeah.
you being someone who, sorry guys, I just had to change my glasses. I was having trouble reading that. You being someone who needs to know the why a lot of the time, that's a struggle for you as a mom. I'm
Yeah.
sure as a mom, it's like really a struggle because moms want to know why anyway, and then you being a
As
mom,
a
you
as an
know,
unsupported mom too, like my
yeah,
mom is passed. My dad is like kind of absent. My I live with my grandma and I'm very thankful because she helps me a lot, but there's a lot of things like she could help me with very day-to-day life things like earthly things, but I'm a very complex air sign. I have all these things that I'm sorting through
Jane,
and I feel like
will you see your? I think your camera's off because it never you never came back on.
oh, hold on, let me go off and let me go back on because
Okay,
I see myself, but
yeah,
you're right, on the live I'm not there.
yeah, you're not on the live, and I want people to be able to see you while you're. She'll be back in just a moment, guys. Um, so while we're waiting for Jane to come back on, the card that I pulled for us to talk about, here she is. Hang on, there she is. There you are. We
Oh my
see
gosh, I
you.
can't see you though. Oh, there you are. I
Okay.
see you now.
Yeah, I think that what you were saying is so interesting, and I want to add to what we were kind of. I want to add this to what we were talking about. This card, the Five of Pentacles, especially in this deck, if you really look at it, I feel like this is the experience for a lot of light workers right now or empaths. And you may have felt this way off and on throughout your life, this sort of left out in the cold. But not only that, like you're being, see that big eye there? It's almost like you're being looked at like you're something that doesn't belong or doesn't make sense. And in a sense, that's true. But to the from the perspective of the people giving you that feeling, but it's also important to remember that what you are here doing is so important, that you're grounding the light, that you are actually keeping those people from being 10 times more crazy than they already are. As far as like we think that it's dark now, like the world is a dark place and these people that you know are so mean and cruel, without the people here that are grounding the light, that the empaths that are here to serve. Imagine what it would be like 10 times worse.
Yeah.
It would be nonstop war. I mean, there
Yeah.
would be nothing but war. It would be Cain and Abel times a billion. So
Yeah.
this is an understandable feeling, but remember, it's also a feeling, not necessarily a reality. Because the reality is,
Hmm.
we should be the ones looking at them like that, like, oh God. And because they're the ones we're here trying to serve, right? And it is sad to see people that are not spiritually even forget woke spiritually awakened, even
Yeah.
spiritually interested. There's a lot of people are not even interested in the spiritual aspect or reason for things. I remember someone I had a really special relationship with that I dated for quite a few years. Our first date, we left a restaurant or bar or something, and as we were walking out, I looked up at the sky and it was pink and the moon was just so beautiful, and I said, look at that, isn't that beautiful? And I remember he went, oh yeah. And like it just was there was not, and I started right then, I thought, red flag. Like, red flag.
Yeah.
This person has no interest in things that are miraculous
Beautiful.
and that are a
Yeah.
representation of what of us, that we are that's mirroring back to us the feelings we're putting out right now. I mean, I just wish, I want people to get to experience life in that way, and to the beauty that is. And I think that
Yeah.
the more we can look at it like, it may feel that you're left out in the cold, but you're actually not. You're the warmth. That's why you can handle the cold. You are the light.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought of when I saw that. And I know in the past you maybe have felt at times like that. And I remember saying things similar, like, "Oh no, you are that light. You're doing
Yeah.
so much more than you realize for whoever's making you feel this way. No, you're making them feel so much better and worth, and showing them their worth, that you don't even need to worry about the fact that they're so out of sync with their own, reality, that they don't see what they're doing to you, or how they're harming your very being by not reciprocating that.
Yeah. I'm
And
getting
as an
emotional
empath,
because I
it's hard.
even though I'm getting better at accepting it, it is a deep wound that I've been letting heal, as gracefully and as
It takes time.
organically as I can. Yeah.
And like I said, it may always be there. The scar will always be there,
Yeah.
right? And so
I will always
you
be
could,
human too. Like I'm always gonna feel sometimes like it's just not enough.
but
But
also that's part
through
of your gift. That's part of your
yeah,
gift, because that allows you then to relate and to empathize with people who feel that way.
yeah.
You have to have a certain
I
degree of
agree.
the experience to be able to really, take on, I when I first went through my spiritual awakening, Jai had to explain to me what was happening, because I was so excited all the time, and I was filled with gratitude and loving what was happening. But then there would be these weird moments, like I remember at work when I still worked my 9 to 5, this man came in and sat down, that worked with me on he was on the other side of the cubicle for me. And the minute he sat down, I just felt this horrible, like, energy. I felt like I was going to get sick. And she explained to me, that's something you're going to have to expect, and also learn to protect yourself from. Like, and
Yeah,
she
I was gonna
taught
say
me how
discern, is
to.
it yours? Is it someone else's?
Well, I was
How
so
can I make
sensitive,
an energetic container for it so that it doesn't seep into my container?
especially
Yeah.
when you're just going through that major awakening, because, like, I couldn't even, there was a restaurant around the corner from us that my whole family loves to go to, and I went there with them. I used to always go, and the first time I went there with them after really having that dark night of the soul and coming out of it and really being awakened, I was in there for 2 minutes and I had to get up and walk out. Why? Because
Yeah.
it's one of those restaurants that had a bar that was right there where the tables are. So you're there. There were, like, women in push-up bras, makeup and perfume, guys with their hair slicked back, like people trying to hook up and meet. And this energy was all
Yeah.
really loud, and it was like the scene in Finding Nemo, where all the seagulls are going, mine, mine, mine,
Mhm.
mine, mine, mine. But I heard the
Yeah.
people going, me, look at me. And it was so overwhelming. I couldn't even sit at a table in that same room. I just had to leave. I'm not That passes, and you learn to protect yourself, like you
Yeah.
said.
You
But
adjust. Yeah, you
it's
adjust.
hard at first. And so for people who are
It's
just
like
awakening, it's okay. You'll get through it.
yeah. It's like going from black and white to seeing color. Like those videos where you see people that are colorblind, they put their glasses on and now they see color. Nothing's changed but their perspective, their understanding. And at
Right.
first, just like anything new, anything new, we're human. We got to understand the human psyche and the human
Yeah.
vessel, right? Anything new is immediately put into danger until we bring clarity and we build bridges and healthy connections to understand what's going on,
Right. That primal
and if
fear
you could
instinct.
train yeah, if you could train yourself not to be scared, why all these healers are like, "You're going through a spirit," everyone's saying, "Are you scared right now? Did you just lose
Yeah.
your job?" Like these really scary, like to be fair, really scary things. When I went through I lost my dream job. I
Well,
left
yeah.
states. My mom
Everything
died. I
changes.
moved into my estranged parents' house. I became a mother. I was not doing well, dude. Like I had spiritual psychosis. I was seeing things that I never seen. I'm like, is that a
Wow.
demon? Did I just see a plasma beam? Like, what are these things, bro? Like, what the? And then not only that, I'm going through my own thing, all my suppressed emotions that I ever had in my life. I didn't know I was so angry. I was just almost like like black. I told people it's like I was robotic. It's like good, bad, angry,
Everything
sad,
came
like
up at
very
once.
childlike. Yeah, and then all of a sudden your third eye or your frontal lobe, whatever you want to call it, goes on, and all these things are coming at you, picking up on your receptors, whatever you want to call it, and it's literally earth shattering sometimes. And if you've never had to deal with emotions or you're not good with emotions, dude, it really takes a long time to rewire yourself to make all these connections so that you'll get stable. You just can't give up. You just got to keep building, and every choice you make, it gets better. It does. It sometimes it's been Luca's gonna be 8. It's taken me 8 years to get here, people.
I
Like, 8,
cannot
I'm not
believe
talking about 6 months. It's taken me 8 years to
I
get to this
cannot
place
believe
where
that.
I'm not even fully I'm still kinda like, "What am I doing?" That's why I
It's
did this live because 'cause I'm like, "Maybe this is my way of just tapping into things and sharing insight," you know?
well, I do have a
But
feeling
yeah.
both of you have. I mean, obviously, you have your mother and son. You have a special connection, but it goes deeper than that. And
Yeah.
I feel that I've always had a sense, even since he was 3 years old. I guess is probably when I first met him through you. I've always had a feeling that there was something that the two of you are going to do together as he grows. Um,
I
in the
wonder.
realm. So just be open to it.
I mean, I don't know.
Why?
The biggest with him is I just want him to be kind to himself. He's a lot like me in that way. And he's different. He struggles with like very normal things. Like he like remember when you said he's like a panda, they show him black and white. Like he's very extreme, if that makes sense. Like he
Yes.
gets fragmented very easily.
Yes.
And I just want him to understand himself and be nice to himself because learning is easy to him. These other things that people like, but the like him being a human, it feels like it's really hard for him to understand. It's hard for us to connect. Like we both have to work at it. Like it's not
Yes.
just me. And I see how he's like me. Like I'll be curt, I'll be short, I'll be like stop because I
Right.
grew up in a house like that. And then he'll do it to me a week later, and I'm like, I need to check myself.
They're like, I
Like
don't want to teach him this.
yeah. I have to really, and dark habits are hard, and it's me finding grace in that too. Like,
Does it also
oh,
give
I
you a
raised
little
my
bit of?
voice again.
Let me ask you: does it also give you a little bit of grace and sort of understanding for where you learned it, for how, that what they maybe were going through, because you now know the
Yeah,
feeling that
I went through
prompts.
all that when I like earlier. I went through that part of like truly forgiving,
Yeah.
not just realizing, but truly forgiving my mom was when I became a mother. Like really, I mean, I understood on the outside, but it's
Yeah.
so lived experience is you could read 1,000 books, but
Yeah.
lived experience is something you just like unless you have a kid, you really don't know truly want, but
I,
until you have a kid, you don't.
I can't imagine.
So when I went through my motherhood, I was able to understand my mom a lot like deeper. I still feel like I'm not all the way there because remember I told you I heard her voice once and I said, "Fuck you, mom," like when my gifts were all going crazy. And I know she tries to talk to me. I do still in my because it's in my body. My heart is like okay with it, but I could feel my body is not there. So I think I need to what it is I need to move my body. I need to do
Okay.
some somatic healing and get the energy and the trauma out. It's
Yeah.
just I'm
Have you
lazy. I'm
ever?
supposed to be real. I'm chunky. You know what I mean? Like I need to get on it
You're so
so
silly.
I feel better.
Seven of Wands. So let's talk about that. Why are we resistant? Why are we resistant to the changes and to the growth? Why is change so scary for us? Like you said, you mentioned fear is the initial human response to something new. Well, that's why change
Yeah.
is that's why we resist change so much as human. Even when it's amazing, beautiful change, we resist it,
Mhm.
until we have no other choice. A shaman once said, and I wish I could remember his name, but he said, the only things that truly will change a person uh, is grief and pain. Like
Yeah.
nothing else is good. You can want someone to change and to do better, but the only thing loss or no, was it loss, grief, and it was not good things. But
Yeah.
they
Sadly.
are. They are good
Yeah.
things because we need to be able to accept change and to embrace change. And the only thing that keeps you growing spiritually is actually actively seeking new things and new experiences and change, right? Doing those things. I mean, I was in my 40s before I got my first tattoo. Like that
I
was
know
just
when you told me
something.
that, I was like, that's so crazy.
Well, it was not something I had ever wanted to do, but something felt like I should do that. And it should be something that every time I look at it reminds me of something. So that's why I got the Eye of Horus and the Eye of Ra, because I wanted to be reminded of the balance of the masculine and feminine,
Hmm.
of intuition, of all the things that they represent.
Yeah.
And also just my obsession with ancient Egypt. Um, I want to also we're probably not going to do any readings because we've been on about an hour now, and there's just been a few people
Yeah.
in and out. That's okay though. I would like to kind of wrap it up, but I want to get you to, if you would be willing, tell me what the experience is like as someone who doesn't know, because I'm not a mom or dad. I've never had a child. I've heard people say like it's like having your heart ripped out and put into another person's body, and that not and like almost not feeling like the feeling of needing to protect and be what was
Yeah.
what did it feel like? What changed from before to after being a mother? What was it like for you at
Um,
the experience?
you're never alone. Like you'll. So for me and my story, I have always struggled with feeling. I think that's why the universe gave me him, or like it was set up the way it was,
Like
because
you
at that
felt so
time
alone?
I was. I mean, my whole life. I'm getting
Um,
emotional. My whole life, I've been so feeling so alone. Like, and no matter how much I tried, no matter how much money I spent on someone, no matter I was on my hands and knees begging for their love, like they just wouldn't stick around,
I felt
and
like
I
that's
didn't
why. No,
understand
I get it.
why.
I know this doesn't compare, but I felt like that's why the universe sent me Bentley, my dog that has
Yeah.
passed. But I'm still
It's a
waiting
different,
for
like
him to be
the universe
replaced.
provides, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
So I think it was just like the universe is like, okay, it's time for you to you keep talking about this unconditional love. You want to have the real human
yeah,
experience. Let's get as human as it gets. You're getting knocked
you're
up,
gonna,
bitch.
yeah, and not
And
only
so for
that, you're
me,
gonna you're gonna have the experience of
all
having
to yourself.
someone
You
that
want it
is
all to yourself. Yeah.
you, like from your body, like wow.
Yes, quite literally, and to
Oh, that's
the
so
person that
cool.
you at time love so much, and at least you believe that you really did. But
Well,
for
anytime.
me, what it feels like, and I feel like I don't have a normal human experience, because it is like some all that stuff is true. Like I told people, it just feels like my universe expanded. Like
Oh
I just got
wow.
so much more. Like I thought there was a lot of stars in the sky, but when this baby came along, it's like I felt like my universe just expanded, like he was an extension of me. And not in
Uh,
like the abusive way, if that makes sense, but as in you're a part of me and we're built together, and let's see what we could do, and let's build something beautiful together. And that to me
uh,
is a loving mother and son relationship that, to the best of my ability, where I'm empathetic and I listen to him and I let him grow into who he's meant to be, and I
well, I
don't
don't think that.
shape him too much.
Yeah, I don't think that it's unhealthy for a mom or dad to think of their child's mom just do more than dads. I think as an extension of them, but I think there's a certain age where there has to be an acceptance of they're their own person. Let them like what you're saying you do.
Yeah.
So I get it. I get what you're saying. But
So, and I think I'm like, and I think it was into this
yeah,
box, and I never fit into, like, no, even when I tried, I didn't fit into the box. You get what I'm saying? So I think for him is I want to find that balance of giving him guide rails, you know what I mean, where he doesn't go off the hinge and is neglected, but I want to make sure that I give him enough space to contract and grow and become who he is,
I want you to remember
and just
something.
fight like anything.
I want you to remember something, Jane. because I remember a lot of times talking with you when you would worry so much about him, which
Yeah.
mothers do. But I want you to remember this: every time you worry that you're not, enough, he chose you. That soul chose you to be his mother.
Yeah.
So
Speak up.
you're
Speak
not
up a
only
little
you're not only
nugget.
enough, you're just what he needs.
I'm making ramen
Okay,
for
baby.
you.
Thank you, baby. He's so sweet. He's
Aw.
in this phase where he likes to cook for me. He made me a sandwich earlier.
Is his hair still blonde?
It's like dirty blonde, like
But
sandy.
Mom, I did most of the work by myself, but the ramen isn't fully cooked, so Grandma's helping me.
Okay, thank you,
Good
baby.
job.
He's the sweetest thing.
Where are you living now? Are you still out in California?
Yeah. I'm still in Los
Okay.
Angeles, the greater Los
Okay.
Angeles area.
Nice. I
Oh yeah.
I have a few people in Los Angeles area. Like I have like 5
You
people
should come
that are
down.
regulars.
Chad is down here somewhere, right? Isn't he in like the Orange
Chad,
County or something?
Chad's
Temecula or something?
near like one Rancho something. I can't remember what it's
Rancho
called.
Cucamonga. It's like an hour away
Maybe,
from me.
yeah. I think is that near
But I think
Anaheim?
I'm gonna pop off soon.
Yeah, we both need to pop off. So,
Yeah. But
guys,
Rebecca, she was in the chat.
she
Hi,
was?
Rebecca. I know I commented, but
I
hi,
didn't see
bestie.
her. Oh, Rebecca's here. Hi, Rebecca. Well, we didn't do any readings. We've just been having a really cool conversation that I hope anyone who got to join us enjoyed and appreciated. And I hope the replay viewers get something out of what we've shared with you tonight. And I really, really just thank you for joining me tonight. And we're going to do this again because you have a lot more to
At
share.
a
And I
better
think it's
time.
important.
Yeah, at a better time too.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe on a Wednesday night, like I used to do the hump day or something like that, or a Friday
Hump
night, something like that.
day.
But
Hump day live.
well, we're heading out, and everybody have a great rest of your weekend. Get up and make it a great Monday. Make it a great week. Thank you so much, Jane. We love you guys. I love you, Jane. And
Love you too.
we'll see you soon. Bye, guys.
Bye.